Finally, today we talked to meeting attendees and we asked them, how is the lack of research funding impacting you?
Impacting, I think, the scientific community is that there are fewer and fewer graduate lines. The graduate students are now experiencing levels of stress associated with funding that when I was going through graduate programs were not even part of the discussion. When I was doing my PhD in the early 90s, we weren't worried about funding our research. We were interested in scientific problems. And now at major universities, students are aware of the funding cuts. They know that it's impacting them. It's harder to find labs. We have students doing 4 or 5 rotations trying to find labs because of funding situation and PIs not being able to support graduate students.
Well, first I should say I've been really, really lucky to have had NIH support almost my entire career. So I feel lucky to be able to have done basically what I want to do all these years. But the funding has had a major impact because even from the time the grant was awarded, it was immediately cut by 25%, and then with additional cuts every single year, such that now in the final and 4th year of this grant, it's a GM grant, which is 4 years, that coupled with increases in fringe benefits, I've been cut by overall by about 40%. So I really can't do all the things I was hoping to do just because I can't have the staff.
Well, in 2 ways. I'm getting cuts in my NIH grants on a standard basis each year, but also we've been funded for many years from the Muscular Dystrophy Association, and recently they announced that they're no longer accepting applications for research funding for the coming year. So our funding will run out, and I'd normally be applying this coming summer, but no applications are being accepted due to their difficult funding, which is all privately raised.
Well, there's more research problems and more talented researchers than there is money to fund all of them. And so basically what's happening is that there are experiments we would like to do or insights we'd like to gain, but we just don't have the tools, meaning the money to get the tools to actually achieve them, which means we're going to start falling behind other countries potentially who are more actively funding their infrastructure. But also we're just, every day is a day wasted of knowledge that we could gain to eventually help people and health and patients. So it's making it a lot more difficult to get basic things done, and I think it's deterring people from entering science.
The shortage of funding has impacted me in several ways. I actually had to start my research all over again 2 or 3 years into my graduate program because my advisor left the country for better funding in France. And I've also recently decided to go into industry and work for the private sector because of a lack of funding to pursue the research I've been doing.